Do 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 do. How's it going, everyone? I'm not gonna worry about any of this waiting around shit. We're getting right in there. All right. I need to turn on the music. Boop. There's a particular song I would like to play. Let's see if I can find it. I'm not actually sure that I can. There it is. I'd actually like to play this one right now. This is such a fucking banger. I just finished the 1.4 story for Arknights last night. Holy shit, this is a good song. All right. Let's go zoop, over here. Jacob's Ladder. Jacob's Ladder, cup and ball, trick. Lincoln Logs, something you build with, a toy. Cup and ball is also a toy, so are alphabet blocks. Okay, there's obviously bowling alley, hockey rink, tennis court, these sorts of deals. And a swimming pool. Rink, court, alley, and pool. I don't actually know if this is what they want, though. This could very easily be a bait. It is indeed a bait. Okay. We'll keep that in mind. Alley, ending with alley. No. Bowling. Bowling. Lincoln was a president, but I don't see others for that. Pantheon. Okay. Colosseum, these have pillars. I don't know what other ones might have pillars, though. I'm sure two others do or something, but is Jacob what is Jacob's Ladder? Hold on, let me go look up what Jacob's Ladder is. That term is very familiar, but I'm not just looking for the is it Oh, okay, I see. It's a way to heaven of sorts. Interesting. Freeway. Free. Free. Alpha. We're looking at beginnings and endings, right? Super. I'm not really seeing any though. Bar. There's bar here, but eh. Hockey rink has ice. I don't see other ones that have that though. Alphabet blocks and Lincoln Logs really feel like they would go together, eh? Spanish Steps. What the fuck is that? What is that? Perhaps it's the shape of something that we're supposed to be looking at? Cup and ball trick. That's Man, this one's fucking me up. I might just move on from this. Let's shuffle it up a little more. Barclays Center. Where is that? I actually need to know what that is. I figured it was an arena of some kind. Oh, it's in Brooklyn. Okay. Interesting. It's a, well, looks like they do basketball there. Barclays Center. Okay. Cool. Coliseum, I guess, would work with that, maybe. Why do I feel like Trevi Fountain is probably there as well, as are the Spanish Steps? Why do I feel like these are all just things in New York City? Like, is Jacob's Ladder a place in New York City as well? I mean, sorta. I don't know. I'm just gonna guess that shit. Nope. Okay. Barclays Center. Center? Alley, way, court, and probably center. Like ending with street names. It's not gonna be step or ladder or blocks. It's not gonna be fountain. It's not gonna be market. It's not gonna be rink. I think it's center. No? Okay. Well, I just give up then. Just give me four random ones. I don't give a shit. Classic wooden toys. Okay, so that was absolutely what it was. Places with lanes. Well, lanes was correct then, eh? Iconic Roman landmark. I didn't realize the Spanish Steps was a Roman landmark. And places with nets. Mm. This is silly. I don't like places with nets at all. Fishing boats have nets. That's not a fishing boat isn't really a place, is it? No. All right, let's move on. Shark. We've got an R out of place. Uh, hmm. Doubt. That gets us five new letters, none of which are helpful. Okay. We've got an I and an E. Our I and E are our vowels. Uh, uh Liner, I guess. Okay. Well, there is an I and an E. It's just out of place. So I'm thinking like an EI or an E something I. Like just something EI can't be, well, then it would have to be REI, which I don't know works, right? So the alternative would be like RE something resin, hmm. No, I don't like the R first, actually. So that kind of puts it third then. Or it's like an ER, irate, that sort of thing. Erect, but it can't be either of those. Could also just be like refit or something. Re. Hmm. It wouldn't be eerie, right? You wouldn't do eerie? You wouldn't do eerie to me. Okay. We've got an E at the end. Probably I something E. RIFE. Can't be strife though. Can't be I second, so it can't be anything like ridge. IGE does ICE also works. Ugh. Price, I suppose, could work. Okay. Well, last guess. RIPE is the last four, so it's just gripe, right? I don't see any other option. Annoying. Annoying Wordle today. All right, let's move on. Mm-mm-mm. We're working over here, right? Yeah, this is working fine. How's it going, Rex? What's poppin'? Quiet day today. Quiet day today. Ooh, very close on the India. Nice. India, but not touching India. Does that just make it Sri Lanka? It is. Cool. Going okay, spamming goal she runs. How are you? I'm doing well. I'm doing rather well. Speaking of which, I haven't actually done my I haven't peeked my run from last night, I don't think. I could probably boot that up and take a peek at it like super duper quick here. Since there's only a couple people right now. Decent sparks on her as a grandparent. Hi, yes. Could you please translate that for me, Riceball? It was Sri Lanka. It was Sri Lanka today. We got it in 3. All right, we're looking at a solo female artist again, but this one less popular. Bottom 400. Also, I'm going to pull up Uma in the background just because that's a song in my language. What is your language? I do not. Mm, hmm. I don't want to say what I don't know what language it is. And if you're wrong when guessing a language, you do sound a little bit racist, so I'm just gonna refrain. And then I can borrow an end closer parent and start making an actual parent. What are you trying to make? Let's go ahead. I was trying to make some front runners, so I did a Silent Suzuka run. Don't try it, you won't be able to. Word. Ooh, didn't hit the 600th stam. That's unfortunate. Maybe we'll hit the 3-star speed or something instead then. It'll be fine. Let's go ahead and pop these real quick. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Ka-chow. Kerplow. It's a classical beauty. It has scale changes and everything. Word. A classic. Oh, wow, we got some good frontrunner skills in here. I can't complain about these. Ooh, we got the Racing Spirit, Stamina, and Wit as well. Okay. I'm paying attention. As a front runner, you probably don't want Come What May, but I might take it anyways just because I don't have a lot else to take. Unless I can afford, I want to win with you, which I suppose I can. And I don't care for Pace Chaser Savvy. I'll just take Competitive Spirit, and that'll be good. If I ever come to voice chat, if I ever get the opportunity, I'll definitely you'll sing it for me. Oh wow, do you do singing? Is that a... I do think two of the same people keep borrowing my Kita-san parent. Valid. This pisses me off. Oh, hey, that's pretty good. I don't think I'll complain about that too much. Considering this is like a great grandparent or something. I don't think I'll complain too much about that at all. 8-star stam with a good amount of sparks. Word. Dude, I still keep getting a ton of borrows every day from That was on stamina focus too, by the way. I still get a ton of borrows from my... Come on, El Condor Pasa. Dude, why are there so many buttons at the end of a run? Can I put that song on Soccer Quest? I don't see why not. Look, man, look, we're up to 354 followers. We're popping off. 20% speed rate? Yeah, but I only took 2 speed cards. And she still hit like 1270. Look at this badass parent, though. Look at this shit. Look at that. And one thing I hadn't realized at the time, but a lot of people really like dirt sparks on the grandparents when they're making a grandparent, because then they can bump up the dirt on a non-dirt character and actually like run dirt races on turf characters. This is actually like pretty nice for a lot of people. Anyways, we're not playing Uma today. I was just doing the run, finishing the run. We're back on Dave. We're back on Dave. All right, solo female from before 2014. Solo female before 2014, not super popular. Little bit popular, not a lot of bit popular. Let's go like Gloria Gaynor, if she even makes the lane. Blah, blah, blah. Nope, doesn't make it. Not Rihanna. Too popular to be Rihanna. I was trying to finesse some Dirt Sparks, but I just kind of gave up. Valid. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Shreya Ghoshal? Uh, okay. Is she old enough? She is. Cool. Not pop though. We are not looking at pop. This is not pop. Shreya is too popular as well. Solo female. Solo female before 1996. Ooh. Mm, Bonnie Tyler, perhaps? Oh, Bonnie Tyler's from the UK. I didn't know that shit. It's not hip hop, not pop. So it is India. Aha! Fuck, that was actually gonna be my guess, too. Increase the volume a little, please? Is it not good enough? I don't want it to overpower, like, my speaking. You get a little tick up. You get a little tick up there. Cindy Laufer? I've never heard of her. I guess Cindy Lauper? I assume this is pretty close to what you were going for. We'll try it. We'll try it. That is also pop indeed. We still haven't gotten the year. Ooh. Okay, so it's from 89 to 95. I want you to hear it. I can hear it pretty well in my headphones. So girls, oh, she's the one who did Girls Just Want to. Okay, gotcha. I didn't know her by name at all. Me when I open my mouth while someone's giving me a back massage. Be back after dinner. Word. She do got that vocal control though. So this is more like hip hop or R&B. It's not gonna be someone like Missy Elliott, I don't think. Solo female US. Solo female from the US. This is definitely gonna be R&B or something like it, but I'm trying to figure out who the fuck it would be. Um, I don't think it's Whitney Houston, but maybe it is. I don't who the fuck is the other person I'm thinking of? Not Whitney Houston. No. What's her name? We can't ping someone if they're not here? I mean, I guess not, since they wouldn't be able to see it anyways. Let's try a Whitney Houston. I don't think it is, but oh, they consider Whitney Houston pop? Okay, so now it's 91. 91 to 95. 91 to 95. Um, her fucking name has an A in it, and I can't remember what her name is. I mean, I guess it could be someone like Janet Jackson, but I think she's a little too old. Ah, E-U-E-A. I really can't think of her name. It's not Janet Jackson. You can't focus. I mean, she is popping the fuck off. It's just not coming to me. Her name's not coming to me. Um, what the fuck is her name? I know she's R&B, I just can't remember her name. You don't do Betweendle? Not, no, we kind of rotate them in and out. Holy shit, she's still going? Oh, never mind. That was the end of the song. Okay. I was like, why did we start over again? Alicia Keys, that's who I'm thinking of. Jesus. All right, that is solo R&B. Cool. It's not the right person, but at least I was correct about her being R&B. A less popular R&B artist, I'm never gonna get this. I'm sorry. This is not gonna happen. Move on. Here, let me turn down the music again. Keep the volume about the same for me, though. A blank is a blank 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 in blank blank for blank over the blank. For blank over the blank? A blank of blank and blank. Blank in blank. Mechanism? That's not a bad word. Unless, alas, not here. Particle. They're rather specific guesses, but no, not particle either. They would focus in very well if they were in here somewhere. As of blank, there were over blank 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 blank. So true. I feel like this is a little bit broader. This is etymology. Blank is a probably like derivative of blank and blank. The blank earliest use of blank was blank to the blank. Hmm. Okay, let's try things like foods. Let's try things like ooh, company. There are some mentions of companies from a blank blank company blank as blank or blank. Let's make sure this is not a military company. All right, it's not got to do with war. By the blank blank company. Just do the cardinal directions. I don't think this is a location, though. I mean, it might mention, like, North America. Like, there is one instance of South anywhere. In blank, some year, some percent of the blank of South blank and some percent of the blank of blank had blank to a blank in the blank blank. This got to do with China at all? Person, he, she? I mean, there's probably a person involved at some point, but this is much broader than that. This was it was found or invented by some guy and his blank blank. Yeah, it's like a concept. It's something like, as of blank, there were over, like, something like a patent. Blank blank in blank and patent law. Patent law, I assume? Yeah, patent. Okay, so it has to do with patents as well. A company blank to as a patent blank. Blank a patent on... Okay, let's try copyright as well. Copyright is not mentioned. So this is a physical thing. You patent, like, objects. You copyright characters. Then we're getting all the languages today. Now we're over on the Russian. A blank, 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 blank. Blank is a blank of blank and blank. Portmanteau? I don't even know if that's how that's spelled. Oh, you know what? I actually fucking typed portmanteau. It is a portmanteau. 7 letters. The answer is cat boys. Plural. It's a portmanteau of cat and boys. So this is a specific product? No. There were over, well, it might be a specific product. Can we think of any products that have that sort of, is it a toy? Not a toy of any kind. Is it electronic? Hey, thank you for the contribution. To as a patent blank by the electronic blank blank. Coca-Cola? Nah, too many letters, and it has a dash in it. Though I don't necessarily dislike the idea of it being a drink or something. Not a drink, though. Is this related to movies in any way? No. Is this medicine in any way? No. We need Jordan. Why, so we can get the answer in 2 seconds? The blank to the blank is blank. Is this a position of any kind? No. Nah, he just gives me a super obvious hint that is definitely the answer. The blank to the blank is blank, and blank blank are blank to blank. What? Some blank are blank by blank or blank. Create was a blank 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 created in blank by blank. Vehicle, car, Well, there is actually a mention of cars. Two in blank cars. That blank 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 two blank cars. What? Train cars? Motor cars? Something like that? Was a blank training. Thank you for the pipes, by the way. A training blank. A training method? A training regimen? No. I could have ended and Yoked would have missed his streak. No, he wouldn't. He could just watch the VOD. You could just watch the VOD. As long as he does it before the next stream. Your streak wouldn't increase? I thought it would, actually. I mean, I guess he would have had, maybe if it worked that way, he would have one less day. All you gotta do it is like 100 and 200 times and someone could catch up. I don't actually know how it works. Probably. Blank was a blank training blank. Training. What does this have to do with training? And it's only mentioned once. Blank was a blank training blank created in blank by blank blank and his blank blank. Blank? Is this related to a dog or something? A pet? A blank is a blank 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 in blank blank for blank over the blank. It's a portmanteau of two words, but we really don't know much else about it besides that. There's some mention of patents. It wouldn't be frisbee, right? But it's not a toy as far as we can tell. It's got two mentions of electronic. There is some mention of electronic twice, but it's not a toy. Tool? There's one mention of tool. There's only two mentions of electronic, but it is mentioned. Electron? No, too many letters. Mobile? Yeah, like something phone did cross my mind. There is some mention of mobile, mobility, although it doesn't seem to mention mobile phones. It's it's got to do with mobile, but it's not phones. And blank blank to a mobile blank. 6 letters. And then there's mention of blank mobility. Device is probably what they're going there. Mobile device to a, it connects to a mobile device. I don't think we're looking at iPhone or iPad. We could probably look at something. It's probably Apple related though. AirPods, maybe? Point in this thing mention the word ear. Maybe not. No, it's not earbuds. That being said, it is Apple and it is mentioning mobile devices. It can't be iPhone. It can't be iPod or iPad. Why did you just type that? What is the point of that? Like like how is that relevant? And anything other than shock humor? No, no, not you, Jordan. Apple. So if it's not iPhone or iPod or iPad or it's not gonna be like a lightning charger, um, podcast? That's interesting. I guess. Sure. Yeah, it's a podcast. I'm very interested in why Apple is mentioned so much. Why is Apple mentioned like 15 times in a podcast thing when it's clear they mention further up that it's not related to Apple? Portmanteau? Well, yeah, but there's lots of those. Also, give me an R&B artist from the mid 90s. Dude, Doke said it. I should really add that as a redeem. The like rather than the sus noise, it's the Dokes. Mary J. Blige. That's kind of what I'm looking for. That's around what I'm looking. Yeah, this is. I for some reason I couldn't get past Missy Elliott, and this is what I was actually looking for. This one is valid. Oh, what are we looking at here? That's a lot of. Please stop calling. Oh my God, if I don't stop getting spam calls, I'm gonna find someone. I hate when you remove yourself from their calling list and they say this may take up to 24 hours and then they make sure to call you like 5 more times that day. We got 24 hours, quick. Who's spam calling you? Who the fuck knows? Nobody with a conscience. Why does this look this looks like this looks like Pal World, honestly. I know it's not, but it kind of looks like it. There's a lot of people. It's kind of MMO-ish. Could this be another Monster Hunter game? I don't think it is, but I don't know. Maybe it's fucking Wilds. What is that? Hold on, guys. Let's zoom in here. What are we looking at? Show me what's up. What is going on here? There's humans on one side. There's like orcs on the other, sorta, or like orc-ish kind of, but not exactly. Is this a Warhammer game? That's a very claw-y kind of orky hand looking thing going on there. Bye, DJ. Okay, bye. The OGs are here. The OGs? The OGs? Wait, what do you mean? The OGs are here. What does that mean? Chat, what did he mean by that? Let me refresh this page. We are in Warhammer. It is Warhammer, but it is the wrong saga. Right, right, but originals what or what originals? Oh, you mean oh, he means you enjoy okay. Wait, why would that be a reason for you to go? I don't understand. Did Warhammer have like a fucking this looks like sports. Was there like a Warhammer sports game? Warhammer Online Age of Reckoning? Was Blood Bowl Warhammer? Okay, bye. Was Blood Bowl Warhammer? Or was it just like Warhammer? Because that is kind of what I'm thinking of is like Blood Bowl. It is the Warhammer sports game. It is Blood Bowl. So it must be Blood Bowl 2. I didn't realize Blood Bowl was just like a direct Warhammer franchise game. I knew of it. That's kind of fun. Okay, let's zoom back in. Okay, that's a lot of fire. There's like cremation going on over here, sort of maybe. Either that or there's just like, is that the stock of a gun? This looks like I'm gonna go immediately Wolfenstein. I don't think it is, but okay, not Wolfenstein. We're looking. It's in their fantasy universe, not the 40K one. Understood. Okay. I don't know what's going on here. It looks very bloody. Looks very, I wouldn't say zombie, but maybe. Have you signed I the Redactyl? Have you signed in to the Redactyl? Is that what you're asking? I don't think so. I think I just play it. Looks like Drake's. Oh, it looks like an Uncharted game. Okay, Drake's Deception or Drake's Fortune. Okay, we are looking at. Well, then it's probably Drake's Deception or Drake's Fortune, right? Nope, it's a different. It's one of the Uncharteds. I feel so jealous of Yoked. Why? Uncharted. Well, shit's on fire. It might be a Thief's End. Is 4? It is a Thief's End? Where the vibes were end of series, kinda. Okay. What is that? That looks very cyberpunk. I don't know what it is. I don't know who it is specifically, but that looks very. Is that just fucking. Is that. Is that, what the fuck's his name? What's his name? Does he have one in game or is it just Keanu Reeves? Yeah. No, 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 no. What's his name in game? No way, it's Johnny. Got him. Dude, you can sniping Keanu Reeves out of nowhere. I forgot to wish on your birthday and I'm 2,000 behind the contributions and he has 100. Oh, yeah, we're just counting numbers, bro. It's not that deep. It's cool, but it's not that deep. All right, invasion power grid mech squads alien insects. There's a power grid, there's mech squads, there's alien insects. This is fuck, what's the name of the game? Fuck, 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 fuck. I know this. Uh oh my god, what is the name of this game? Lost Planet? I suppose maybe. This is not actually what I was thinking of. Any particular one? Never mind. Oh. That's not the word I was saying, though. Mech squads. Mech squads. This isn't just gonna be like Rift Breaker or anything, right? I know you know. Nope, not Rift Breaker. Okay, okay. I'll see you around, Raceball. Thank you for the lurk if you're gonna lurk, otherwise. No! Friendly fire, reactor cores, volcanic hive, pilot upgrades. All right, we're definitely we're super mech related right now. I'm not really sure what this is. We're looking at mechs, we're looking at invasion, friendly fire. Friendly fire? The breach. The breach. Once more into the breach. Into the breach or just the breach? Because into the breach is actually the one that I was thinking of. Ah, it is into the breach. This is the one I was trying to come up with the name for. I know this game. We're just gonna start with Into the Breach again. Ooh, okay. This is useful. It's not PC. Not a PC game, and it is none of these categories. It's not strategy, it's not an RPG, it's not puzzle, it's not indie, it's not turn-based, it's not a card or a board game, it's not got roguelike elements. It is sci-fi single player. Sci-fi single player. Not Switch. Sci-fi. Ooh. Okay. Uh Can't be really any of the Final Fantasies. Could be a Metroid game. Which Metroid game doesn't exist on PC? Just like just Metroid? Just like the first Metroid? Just Metroid. It is also not on arcade, Famicom, Wii U, NES, Nintendo 3DS. It's not a platformer. It has no adventure. We don't know whether it has action or not, but it's not within 5 years of that. We're looking at 98 to 20. Well, it says 98 to 2017, but it's actually 5 years after this. So it's 93 to 2012. Okay. Um, this could be like, did the first Halo have multiplayer? Like, was multiplayer in Halo from the very, very beginning, or was that only in the later games in the series? Because Halo more or less fits the systems. It's feeling like not Nintendo. It's not at all Nintendo. It's neither pub nor dev. The original had co-op? Okay. We're not looking at Nintendo. We're looking at like an Xbox game or a PlayStation game because it's not PC and it's too old to be any of the other systems way back when. It's like it's PlayStation. It's like it's a Ratchet and Clank game. I'm feeling Ratchet and Clank. Okay. Third person. It is not a Ratchet and Clank game. Infamous. Do you think Infamous counts as sci-fi? Maybe. It's not a shooter though, which Infamous is somewhere on the borderline as far as shooters are concerned. It has some like shooter elements to it. I don't think it would really be considered a shooter, but like it's kind of no longer not Sony. Not Sony, but it is PS2, PS3. So we're looking at 2008 to 2012. 2008 to 2012. Oh, this is like right in the ballpark. Like 2002 to 2008 does put it in the PS2, PS3 era, as expected. We also haven't even found a genre it is yet. Like, we don't. This is not a shooter. This is not turn based. What is this? It's not a platformer or an adventure game. It's not a role playing game or a simulator. It can't be Mass Effect because it's not a shooter. It's cross platform, but not Windows or Wii. Like it could be a PlayStation exclusive that just simply wasn't a Sony game, right? Are all PlayStation games Sony Computer Entertainment publisher? If it's a PS exclusive, would it be only Sony? Or can it be published by someone else and put there? I feel like I should know this. I feel like I should know this. Um, it's probably not a Jack and Daxter either then. Knights of the Old Republic could be. I don't know. I feel like this might be considered an adventure game of some kind. It is considered adventure. It's 2004. It did. Oh, yeah, it also came out on PC. All right, we're kind of limited on the years now. It's 2010 to 2012. 2010 to 2012. So right around the time of Skyrim. Right around the same time as Skyrim. It's not a Fallout game because it's not Obsidian. It's not LucasArts. What in the fuck is this? I feel like I played a lot of games around this time. BioShock, BioShock, BioShock. It is around that time. BioShock kind of fits. I don't know where else BioShock came out though. BioShock. BioShock 3? Wait, BioShock 3? Do you mean Infinite? Oh yeah, that is first person as well. This is a third person game. Borderlands came out on PC. Um, just PlayStation, eh? Just PlayStation. It's only PlayStation. Yuck. Or only PlayStation and X. It's not Xbox, the OG Xbox. It's possible it came out on Xbox 360, but it wasn't on the OG Xbox at least. Which lined up with the PS2, right? At least in part. Because I feel like I remember it being like Xbox, then PS2 came out, and then Xbox 360 came out, and a little while later PS3 came out. And then they started to line up after that a little bit more. Sci-fi. I'm drawing a blank on this. I should really know this. I had a lot of PS2 games, but it's none of the PlayStation exclusives, which were a lot of the ones that I played. I'm trying to think of. I mean, I know I'm not in Ratchet and Clank, but I guess we could still try Infamous. I would be very surprised if Infamous isn't considered an adventure or a platformer game, but it might give us a better idea of the timeline. Okay, this is a game that definitely came out on PS3 and something else. I was impatient and finished it. Well, It's Infamous and something else, or PS3 and something else. Let me get the clue. Okay. Action fantasy sci-fi. Action fantasy sci-fi. It is a cross console to Xbox, eh? Action fantasy sci-fi, but it's not a shooter. It can't be something like Mag. Okay. Uh Honestly, maybe just tell me the answer because I don't know. I'm gonna guess Mag, even though I know it's not the answer. It's just not. Wow, Mag doesn't make the list? That's crazy. I remember hearing of the game, but I never would have played it or back to back holy. Sorry. Oh wait, that bot didn't get banned. Now they are. Now they're dead. Okay. Mag was so good. Mag was a great fucking game. Azuras? Wait, Azuras? Surely that's misspelled somehow. What? What? Dude, what are we saying? Ashura's Wrath? Is that what we're trying to say? Azura's Rats. Ratsarasas Wrath, maybe. Ashura's Wrath. I am yes, you are in the exact same boat as me. I heard of this game. I never ever would have played it. You spelled Corn snake. Imagine you just snipe that out of the air. It's kind of terrestrial. Okay. It's not a reptile though. It could be like a mole of some kind, right? But it's we could try just like a European mole. We are in the mammals. The Sorial is wrong. It doesn't live in the forest. It's longer than zero point 0.6 to 1.8 meters long, and it weighs more than a kilogram. Okay. Um, so something that isn't just terrestrial. Arboreal, maybe? A mammal that lives in trees? Toadicus? No, no, I don't think that one's it. My goat, the Doedicarus. Thiocoleo. My goat, the Thiocoleo. Galimius. Lemur? I don't mind a lemur. Oh, I should have guessed that they would be endangered, eh? They are not arboreal. So they are terrestrial plus something, but it's not that. We gotta go bigger. We gotta go bigger. We gotta go to like fucking yeah, like a fucking polar bear. Yeah, something big. Okay, we are in the carnivores, but we are not in the bears. It is amphibious. It is an amphibious carnivore. It is polar plus something. Or polar-ish, like tundra. Like smaller than a polar bear, lighter than a polar bear. It's in the tundra, but it's still amphibious. Greenland shark? No, wait, no, surely those Greenland sharks aren't seal? Yeah, yeah, a seal of some kind. But it's got to be a seal that is not endangered. Gotta be a seal that is not endangered. Maybe an elephant seal. Those seem pretty common. Okay, it is not an earless seal. It is indeed marine, though. It is a marine animal, but polar is close. It's marine. It's shorter than a seal. It's not nearly as heavy as a seal or a polar bear. Although polar bear's kind of close, I guess. It's kind of polar bear-ish in size, a little smaller. Carnivore, but marine. Amphibious marine. Amphibious marine. Sea otter is probably too small, right? Sea otter's like down in lemur territory. Northern fur seal. Is that going to be another earless seal? Or is that of a different family? Or is a northern fur seal actually a sea lion or something? Sea lions are different, if I'm not mistaken. Boom! Sea lion get. Eared seals. Very nice. All right, now we can go play the actual game that we came here to play an hour ago. Sorry those took so long. Jesus. We like some dulls, though. I'm not going to apologize too much for it. I may now perform a stanky leg. You give me permission. How dare you? Pipe straight. Alright, where were we? Oh, no time to think. I'm just gonna have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes into my head. Are we about to play a minigame? Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is... Besides the prosecution... The only person that can manipulate I mean, besides the prosecution... You would think it would be... Mikotoba. But... Wait, who the fuck else could it be? I don't think it would be an army sergeant. Sergeant. That doesn't seem like... Like, military, sure, but he's a sergeant, not a general, right? And he was one of the people manipulated. It's not gonna be the head waiter. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Unless Wilson manipulated them himself. Certainly not a random student. This is the prosecution, so obviously not him. It's either going to be the guy who was shot or the teacher. I mean, I guess I'll go for the teacher.
Yes.
There, what do you make of that? I think, counsel, that you may want to close your ears as well as your eyes. Otherwise, the sighs of disappointment in the courtroom may very well deafen you. Ah. If you feel you must close your eyes in a crisis, might I suggest you keep your mouth shut next time, too? Oh, sorry, I didn't do the voice. Otherwise, I may have to use the influence I have in this courtroom to shut it permanently. I don't have a great deal of influence myself, but believe me, I can find other ways to make you keep your mouth shut as well. What? Shut these. There must be a clue somewhere and all that. Yeah, but I couldn't access the fucking... I wasn't allowed to access the clues while I was picking. You didn't let... I wanted to, but I wasn't allowed to. Here we go. It probably is the waiter, eh? One of the restaurant raises a number of questions. I think. Definitely. It's supposed to show the relative position of everything in the moments following the incident, but there's nothing to show the woman you say you saw there. Exactly. And that's not all. Look here in the upper left, where it says kitchen. Oh, yes. What of it? No one would use those complicated characters to write kitchen, especially not if they were in a hurry. You mean, you don't remember those characters yourself, don't you? Oh, called him a fucking idiot. Study harder, Ryunosuke. May I flip it over? Thank you. Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, do you see it says the witness's name here? Satoru Hosonaga. Well, yes, business cards do tend to show the person's name, that's sort of the point. It's not the name that's unexpected, it's his job title. His job? Oh! Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga. Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth? I have no idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. If they're wielding it somehow here... well, there you go. That's what I was looking for. Now that I think about it, there might be some pieces of evidence I haven't thoroughly examined yet. Yeah, I wasn't actually allowed to access it before. Yes! Dude is a plant, called it. This guy is a fucking fern. Well, surely that would be Satoru Hosonaga-san. Hosonaga-san. The waiter who took the stand earlier. Objection! Poppycock! What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence. For once, I would agree with you. If, that is, the man were truly a waiter. What? If he truly were? Come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. The truth about... oh, so the truth about Satoru Hosonaga-san's real identity is proven by this evidence. Huh? Yes! The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question. I agree it shows a great deal of attention to detail. A great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure what we can... I'm not sure we can conclude anything. Sorry, Your Excellency. That's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest. I beg your pardon? Or perhaps I should have said the front? Yes. It's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is. Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say? Hosonaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession, his true profession. The waiter's profession? But that's surely... Good gracious! Nani? That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before? The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolute power as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there in the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well... Nani? Oh. Hey, I guess you've just decided to take the stand here. I was worried something like... Wait, hold on. What voice did I have for him? I was worried. No, that doesn't seem right. I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well. Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. Yes, I do remember that. That was very recent. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake. So, you mean to say you really are a detective? But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course. You're selling... No! They cut him off. I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes. There have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? Dude's got that, he's got that glasses push-up thing going on. That would be classified police information, which I'm not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide. Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga. But you will elaborate on one point for the court. Of course, Your Excellency. We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would also have been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as police officer, you required these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable. As I suspected. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the Bureau. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interests not to pursue that idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect, well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But it's not right. Everyone's like, ooh, we gonna throw this kid in jail anyways? One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Cosmo? UMay University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical facilities research laboratory, is a young Englishwoman. We're just gonna pick the nearest Englishwoman and go witch hunt them? It's just some random lady that happens to be on exchange? It's like, you're female and from England. Did you murder this guy? I mean, it's a game, so it probably is her, but like, that's kind of crazy. There's only one English woman in all of Japan. Genuinely, there probably aren't that many, but you're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean, when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. Then the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. Yeah, exactly. The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Jezzael Brett. Jezzael Brett. She's indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of UMay University's medical faculty. What is happening here? I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. It must now be up to your excellency to decide how to deal with this situation. Gaveling time. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point. Objection! But, Your Excellency, that would mean missing the noon deadline of ruling in order to send the telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be very displeased by such actions. Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. Based? Holy shit. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes, sir. You will locate this Jezzael Brett. What is the pun here? And escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. I can feel that there is a pun in there, but I can't figure it out. But that means you'll be going against the special orders you were given from the police bureau. As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So it won't be a problem? And then he fucking dies. Nothing will get in my way. Bro, it looks like you could die at any time. Or we'll adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student, Jezzael Brett, Maybe something gun-related? Maybe something gun-related, maybe. Do I make myself clear? Yes. Your Excellency. Good, then we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. Hammer again. To be continued. Well, we've only been playing for like 20 minutes, so let's continue, yeah? Yes, save my current progress. Please and thank you. Cool. 22nd of November, 11:38 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Defendants. Antechamber. 5. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you'd started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. British gun. Okay, so it's like super obviously her. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Get it, it's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, looks like we've exposed your Phantom Lady at last. Miss Giselle Brett, a student from Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I am sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then, on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor. I do remember this bit. You did say this. And just after I bent down and picked it up, bang. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet, and he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective. He apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you. Oh, is this... Yep. This guy. Professor Mikotoba. Well, it seems I was right. Right, I did a super deep voice for this guy. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system, even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyways. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? No, he's kind of based for that. Like, this is, like, kind of what I'm here for, so, like, if I can't do that, then, like, I mean, what am I really doing? So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma. Well then, looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes. You need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? Well, I mean, yeah, we're all kind of in the medical department, aren't we? He probably knew that lady. If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMaine. And it was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I've no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you. Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Sama? Goddamn. Defendant Naruhodo. Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow before those old fossils know what's hidden. Thanks, Kazuma. That's very aura farmy of you. Kazuma. What? Thank you. Really. What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already have been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer, and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. Fate to Blair. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really gonna give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. Dude, you can't just name drop all this shit all at once. With an extra large portion, of course. Sure. You're a lot, brother. You are a lot. Alright, let me make sure we're doing alright here. We are. Wonder if that place exists. Yume University? Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. Seems like a lot of names in this series are just generally fake for the fun of it. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Yachi, have you managed to subpoena the witness? Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government. Ugh, sorry. Let the government scrutinize, that's their job. It's nothing to worry about. It's highly unlikely that the good relations we've forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation founders? Again, terribly sorry. If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's printed on. You really have nothing to worry about, Inosuke. What do you mean? A secret trial? Anxiety over some foreign government's opinions? A bungled investigation? Missing witnesses? Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England? Yes, Yume does mean famous. Yeah. Yeah. Shut up! Shut up, you jumped-up rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing. Nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures. I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder, too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there is one thing that I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. By God, he's right. Well said, Inosuke, despite the wide-eyed look of terror. You little brats! Thank you, Counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system, and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett. Yes. Your Excellency. The absurd kowtow. Yo, what the fuck? What is going on there? Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and from such a distant land. Someone bring English tea. In England, no discussions take place without tea. What's going on with the yacht, by the way? Is that true? No idea. So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court? Of course. She has a whole dead bird. She's got a whole ass swan going on. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I have been working undercover as the head waiter at La Carnival. Yes, we know all about you already. Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it is always ladies first. Dude, these guys are they thirsting? Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today, you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Oh yes, I think I did, didn't I? Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry to you, Inosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty. So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. Bro, why are you so sus? Oh god, she's speaking English! The gyat is a form of hoop skirt? Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna assume, I'm just gonna, in my headcanon, she's caked up out of her mind. I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but... What? Oh, we have to go through a translator? The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England. I'm sorry, I can't make up both a language and a voice, unfortunately. She's a visiting research student, currently enrolled in Yume University's medical faculty. Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song. Wait, she can understand us, though. Yes? Like, she can understand. She's not speaking Japanese, but we asked her for her name and profession, and she just said it. Without the translation thing going on. Right? Or am I crazy? As far as I can tell. The detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Well, I guess you should know English. You would, wouldn't you, if you're gonna go study abroad there? Yes, I agree. Ha! You'll obviously do fine in England, Cosmo. Yeah, no way she doesn't know Japanese, right? Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called La Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? Your mama knows Japanese? She might know a little bit of Japanese. Now we're actually fully translating back and forth. She says, yes. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese? She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. Interesting. When you're the one who engineered her escape, I was just following special orders from the Bureau. Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Just immediately blast him with an image of the dead professor. Being as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps? Apparently, it was very frightening. It was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. You mean to say... Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused standing right there in this courtroom shot the victim in cold blood. Oh, sorry, that was him speaking. It was zooming in on this guy's face for some reason. Order! Order! Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement. Yeah, assuming we can trust the witness who ran away. Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. Witness testimony. A frightening and sorrowful sight. Blah 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 blah. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beefsteak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor. They got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. Interesting. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. Hmm. This is a condemning testimony and... No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Objection!
Quiet, you filthy wretch! Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard! And look at this snow-white angel. I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine what words the court is going to believe. Or whose words. You're still making the same mistakes, Dunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. But he's so annoying! Valid? Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the 2 witnesses who testified before, and reported back to the Bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last 2 witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so. On the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there's nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm. Would think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to. Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witness's own words on the matter. Ah, that's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it. Bro, I don't think you're allowed to think that. You can't even think that out loud. Don't think about doing anything rash, Dunosuke. But I didn't fire the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day. You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we'll need to pull her testimony apart. Boy, what's with the little smirk? The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. I'm gonna press him on everything.
Yes!
After 2 p.m.? In fact, that's really quite a late lunch, isn't it?
Objection!
You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late luncheons are in vogue, isn't that right? No. Decisive English no has quite a sting to it. The gentlewoman is currently working working in the victim's research laboratory, please. So it was apparently a daily occurrence that they would lunch together. But on the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first. Yes, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late. Yes, that all makes perfect sense. Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is. Dude, you're not gonna get some. Shut up, Aichi. Ouchie. So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next? The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself a beefsteak. Okay.
Yes!
I'm pretty sure we're not gonna get anything out of this, but you never know. He was unable to eat, you say? And that was because he just had a tooth removed at Hota Clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? It seems so, yes. She'd heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left? Dear me, what a harrowing experience. To have traveled to a distant island on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight. So, the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all? That's right. Other than some carbonated water. Just water? Yes. The professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. Wait, is that true? Hold on. That doesn't sound exactly right. I thought it was, like, plain water only? Oh god, I have to read through this whole thing again. Extraction with the use of anesthesia. Yeah. Yep, I get it. Yep. I understand. There's a cautionary note at the end from whoever wrote this. It says, no food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. I guess carbonated water is fine. Okay. I wouldn't think so, but I guess it is. So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. They each raised a glass of carbonated water. Wasn't there only one glass at that table, though? What do you think, Inosuke, about the witness's last statement? It's meaningful. That last statement of yours, Miss Brent, has a profound bearing on this case. Well, well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing? The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Well, sidestepped, counsel. Very well. Miss Brett, kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Gladly, she said. That was brilliant, Cosmo. I'm gonna remember that one. Which one? The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase. I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Inosuke. I ordered a beefsteak for myself, and the professor and I said cheers over a glass of carbonated water. Yeah, the issue with this is that the photo doesn't have two glasses. Like, what are you cheersing over, guys? There's only one glass at the table. Was he just using his hand? Like, what are we doing here? Unless for some reason they don't like this. I have to imagine they would, though.
Yes!
That's it! Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, that is, it's odd. Very odd. Dear me, what's odd is this defense's inability to express itself. Inosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously it's the cheers. The cheers? Miss Brent just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be two glasses on the table, not one. Ah. You're quite right, Counsel. There's only one glass pictured here.
Attention!
Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutia? What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on the case? Well, it just proves that she's fucking lying, bro.
Objection!
Minutia, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try to tell me you can clink with only one? Okay, that's kind of a weird way to phrase that there, Inosuke, but sure. You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. Objection! How's it going, Nushi? How you doing? Blah, 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 blah. It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. What? I was also terrified. Everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she said. Good gracious. Just got a haircut. Ooh, nice. Very nice. Is it going to show up on your model, too? Sorry? Sorry? No, that's not... Hold on, that didn't look like a hoop skirt. Looking at that from the back, that looked like straight up a fucking tail, yo. What was going on back there? There he is. There. As I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all. Oh, please. We must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in her state of disarray? That's absurd. Oh, really? So do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable young and beautiful woman of mischief? Yes, ne'er-dwelling? What? No. This can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. Have you ever played any of the Ace Attorney, Nushi? It would seem that she slipped into a small handbag she was carrying. Okay, do you still have it then? A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency. A small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England. So, the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end, it comes to nothing. Did you just say confused with logical reasoning? No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already. Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass. I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? No. Well, I don't know really. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're gonna need to show that it has some deeper significance. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. There's a deeper significance there. It's the handbag, right? Going from vice to lawyer now. Yeah, we're moving our way up. Next, we're gonna be a judge. We're gonna beat this game, and then we're gonna have to play a game where we decide people's fates. And then after judge, where do you go from there? Like, president? There's probably a few steps in between somewhere there, but it's basically the same thing. I was gonna say something else. I think there was something I wanted to say. Oh, do you guys know... I was watching part of a video before stream. Do you guys know... What's this fucker's name? There's a YouTuber I watch that likes to do you know, documentary style stuff about games. Daryl Talks Games. Have you guys heard of that YouTuber? Yes, exactly. We also upgraded our infidelity. It's gotta be the handbag, right? Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say? Yes. Do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. Never heard of it before? Daryl Talks Games does some very interesting, almost like psychological introspection into game design and things like artificial romance and let's see, let's look at a few of these while I've got his videos up here. Can a game be objectively bad? Right? Stuff like that. Stuff that makes a boss intimidating. Games checking your sanity. You know, games that can successfully make you see things that aren't there. Or vice versa. Successfully hide things from you so that plot twists work. It's very interesting stuff. You're right. Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that, too. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? Really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire that gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. Yeah, didn't anyone check this gun to see if there had been a bullet fired from it? Like, couldn't that have cleared this up a long time ago? More of developer tricks and background recognition. Yeah, stuff like that. Hold on, let me see. What other... There were a couple of videos that I've seen that have gotten a lot of views. There's stuff about Undertale. Hiding horror in the ordinary. Yeah, there's some good ones in here. The true murder weapon, if you will. You can't seriously be suggested. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Did you or did you not search Miss Giselle Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir. I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag. Loaded gun in the courtroom incoming. She just whips it out on us. What is the meaning of this, Inspector? The meaning of what, Prosecutor Ouchie? Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations. Brilliant work, partner. You get what you fucking deserve! Yeah, like... Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? Bro, Hosonaga, can we talk about your perpetual bleeding from the mouth? Oh, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. Strings intensify. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. Forgot? Okay. It's a new trend to bleed from your mouth. Yeah? Chicks love people that bleed from their mouth. This photographic print. This print is of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. Okay, so now it's weird because, like, the chair is in a different location. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. Well, I never. You can see right through to what's inside. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. Oh. As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that. I don't think you really helped to prove anything. You're just an idiot who forgot to say that. It's not really... Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency. The photograph of the handbag has been entered. Why does she have a king mask in the courtroom? The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted into the court record appears to have no further significance, I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Please stop. Indeed. And there is only one logical conclusion, that the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime. No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around, I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. I mean, dude, you were about to get absolutely blasted at the start. I don't think you're in a worse situation now. Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean this is it? I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student. But the weak are meat, while the strong eat. Okay, dweeb. You are wasting your time. There's no way to defeat true justice. In fact, you can chew on to your heart's content from the inside of your cell. This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma. His dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma. What? Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph the detective produced that we can contest. Which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. Very well. I will now proceed immediately to the ruling. It seems we will be able to report to the British government on time after all. That smug little... Ryunosuke Naruhodo, having considered all of the evidence placed before me, I hereby find you... Objection! Wait, Your Excellency. Ryunosuke? I don't think you can rule on this case yet.
Objection!
This amateurishness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the court.
Yes!
Your Excellency, just a moment ago, you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now, that means if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail, I mean, then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question. Yes, we understand how this works, yes.
This is blatant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence.
You better know what you're doing, Nunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag.
Yo, what's with the fucking symbol on his wrist there? Ha! My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes.
Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it. Very well. I will grant the defense one final opportunity.
What?
But oh, dude's brandishing his gavel like he's gonna hit us with it. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at the photographic print, Inspector Hosonaga submitted before. You will identify for the court where in this print we see the significant detail to which you have alluded. I mean, to me it definitely feels like it's this, right? That's what it feels like to me. Like, sure, the glass is in the handbag and all that, but, like, this is the part that stands out to me. Right? Yeah. Oh.
Yes!
Yes! Look at this here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description.
Objection! Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you would come out with.
A burn, you say? On the victim's wrist? Clearly that has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag. Yes, that is a burn mark. You're right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report.
What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either.
The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. Isn't there a similar in here? Yeah, this? I mean, it looks an awful lot like he burned himself on the plate, yeah? Which is kind of weird, too. I'm not even sure how that happened, but that matches. However, as Prosecutor Auchi points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn. What'd she say? Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the Dean and other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now.
Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. Sorry, I needed to go a little high. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway.
What's your thinking on this, Nunosuke? Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging, in the hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am?
If we can just link that burn to the case, if we can do that, we might be able to prise this shutting door back open again. Yeah, that's possible. Just give up, Counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that. Indeed, I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture. But if we had evidence? We know how a court works. If we have evidence, of course we can continue. Evidence that irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to the case. Then would you allow it? I would, yes. To tell you the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. She already looks like there's no color in her face. Really? I have to find some link between that burn and the case. This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what burn really means. So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, that looks right. Yes! Yes! What's this, Counsel? Yet another print? Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore. Do hurry up, Rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable. Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer if you don't mind, Miss Brett. ... You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here, forevermore. What? How? Objection! You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. I'm getting to it, damn. What is in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn? Target acquired. Yes! The beefsteak? Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on. The plate? Ah. Oh! Your Excellency, are you alright? As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of La Carnival. Oh! The emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn are exactly the same shape. Ah! Ryunosuke, you genius. You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant. Look, she's got like a fucking tail, man. But even if that is the case, we can't know what happened on the day in question or not. We can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. Could have been the day before, or the day before that. Most likely happened at some other unrelated time. Well,
Objection!
Sadly, Prosecutor Ouchie, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks. Why? The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly. But... I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, and the defense is as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. It was literally branded. It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then. I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of Le Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation. But you're a detective, not a waiter. See? Tail.
Yes!
Sus. There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that. And yet, Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream. Not on that day or any before it. That's right. And the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? That he was burned after he died, yeah? Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day, that would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel. Then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques dealer, all of us would, without any question, have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Achi?
Well, yes, I suppose.
She's a horse girl! She's a horse girl! Quick, get her! Why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I almost don't believe it. Ionosuke, do you think... Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already deceased. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible. Apart from in one particular situation. Counsel? Are you suggesting... Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead.
Oh, already?
Dead? Knowing what we know now, the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead.
That's madness.
Order, please. Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot.
That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student, but clearly has no grasp of the facts.
Objection!
Yeah, exactly. No, Prosecutor Achi. It is you who has no grasp of the facts.
I beg your pardon?
As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
But, Your Excellency.
The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment. Thank you, Your Excellency. You bet they are. What was that smile?
Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Oh, sorry, I gotta come up with a female voice. Or maybe I don't. We could probably just go falsetto here, right? I just go up into the head voice, right? I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours.
Miss Miss Brett, you speak Japanese?
Of course she does.
Well, of course I do. I'm studying in your country, after all.
But then why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now?
My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I tried to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible.
Okay, she's an asshole, gotcha. Shit.
But it seems that the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level.
Oh, well, you are the epitome of a true English gentlewoman. We are truly honored by this lavish consideration you have so graciously afforded us.
You can tell she's an aristocracy because that woman never heard someone from Newcastle speak. The Queen's English. She would probably say that that's not the Queen's English. No true Scotsman or something like that. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask of you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. So we're finally going to hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. The victim's death, in quotation marks. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. But when the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please, do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. Damn, she's just straight up declaring war. That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in the Supreme Court's history. Thank you. Okay, bro, you're not getting any. You can stop. Easy does it. I hope that is the last time I will have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone. Not at all, not at all. It's a delight merely to hear you speak, dear lady.
And it seems very clear from— sorry, I needed a little bit more of this. It seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant.
I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today.
The Minister of Justice?
Clearly, you guys haven't heard DJ Soup's rap. That shit is clearly the Queen's English. Oh, whoops, I missed that. Hold on. You did not just say amen to me. May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest oh, sorry, this is Brett. May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen. DJ Soup? Oh, there was a meme song that people were playing for a while, a couple months back, that was just DJ Soup. There's apparently someone named DJ Soup who is, I'm going to assume, a British rapper, an English rapper. certainly sounded very English. It's a shit song. It's not a good song. Rap artist. Rap. Hip hop. Huh. Thanks? Was that a prayer then? Well, you'll have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with a cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. What is he, a frog? Hip-hop? Why are they jumping? I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Yup. No, that's a new one. The face slap. Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with the cross-examination. The victim's death. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that.
Yes!
But his hand was on the searing hot plate for at least 3 whole seconds. You can't not have noticed. Do you think so? Let me ask you something. Sorry? Ever since I arrived at this courtroom, and even still now, the fly on those unsightly black trousers of yours has been wide open. You can't not have noticed, can you? Huh? Wait, actually, but like, wait, like, how did you know that? Like, genuinely. What fun! He's standing behind a table. Genuinely, how did you notice? You hadn't realized. The dear lady is absolutely right. As your friend, you've embarrassed me as well as yourself, Dunosuke. Why didn't you tell me? Dr. Wilson was a true English gentleman. He chose honorable silence over a vulgar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing? Oh yes, I think my tiny brain can.
Yes!
Well, I can't. Anyway. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. Is this true? There was no bullet exit wound, yes? Yes, it's written here in the paperwork, fatal hemorrhage from ballistic trauma. Yes. Yes.
Luckily for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. And as there were no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death, it can only have been the bullet from your gun that put an end to this innocent man's life.
But that doesn't make sense. The burn must have happened straight away when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter. Yes, that's true. If it had cooled even slightly, it wouldn't have been able to make a burn like that. And if the victim burnt his wrist on the hot plate as soon as it was brought out from the kitchen, then he must have already been dead at that point.
Objection! And yet, the fact is that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Until you're able to show the court evidence to disprove that, this is a complete waste of time.
I concur. Prosecutor Ouchi is right. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me.
Yes!
Without leaving a trace? If someone is shot, or strangled, or stabbed, or thrown from a height. However a person's life is taken, there are always telltale traces on the body.
Quite right, dear lady. And as our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosan?
As I've said, I always aim for a flawless investigation. There would be physical traces with all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark.
I mean, if he had eaten the steak... If, heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it? Oh no, perish the thought! Calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question? On my honor, I, Takatsuchi Ouchi, will cut down any who dare cast such aspirations. Aspersions, sorry. I mean, isn't it pretty obvious? I mean, I was thinking something like poison or he ate the food. Like, all he needed to do was, like, possibly eat a bite of food and maybe it would kill him. We need some evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence. Yeah, I think we do need some sort of evidence to, like, actually present. She did take a glass easy poison angle. This is true.
Yes!
Inferior. What do you mean by that? In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at a crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once and that's the end of it. Isn't that so? Quite right. The carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident. Exactly. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. Meanwhile, this motherfucker dying over here. Oh, you know what? You know what I bet? I bet this motherfucker drank some of that. I bet this guy drank some of that. I bet he got something on his hand, and he is suffering side effects from being poisoned, or something like that. That is Chekhov's bleeding lips over there. It doesn't even occur to your naive detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand. A killer blow! The lady is as formidable as she is beautiful. Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Ouchi is finally starting to see sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. What do you think, Ryunosuke? I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected, she's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over. But that would mean... Oh, shut up. Yes, there is a clue. Just let me go talk to her. What, Ryunosuke? There is one thing I noticed, something that's been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean about Miss Brett? Actually, no. About the person standing next to her, Inspector Hosonaga. The detective? Yes, he seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if he might be significant. If it might present an opening, maybe. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time. If you think so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then. I'll find out soon enough, I suppose. Once I press Miss Brett on her last statement again. Okay, well, they're giving me a different direction from what I was going to do.
Yes!
Inferior? What do you mean by that? In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at a crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once and that's the end of it. Isn't that so? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, okay.
Wait.
Exactly, which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. Yes, there it is again. The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter.
But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the Englishwoman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. You're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. It's time to pursue the man in his train of thought. Sorry? Pursue? I'll explain how to do it now, Yunosuke. It's all to do with the witness marker. What marker? At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who's the person actually marking... Oh, we've got like a new system going on, making the current statement. But by moving the marker left and right with A and D, you can turn your attention to other people in the stand. While you're looking at the other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with space. If you can catch the person at just the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue. Okay, that's kind of cool. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people on the stand, take a good look around. Alright, so first then I should move the marker, then focus on the detective.
Wait.
Okay. And then you pursue him. Interesting.
Excuse me.
Excuse me! What's the meaning of this? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts deeply. It looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say? If there's something you'd like to say, please, share it with the court.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? It's the delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately.
Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not. The detective is on the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yes, not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved in the case. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? Well, yes, if you don't mind, I would like to speak. The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Satoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done, he says while smiling. A crime scene thief? Well, looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example. Oh, he brought the bottle of water. Is that... This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took from the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all of its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle, I can see it. One day, our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming. I guarantee it. Dying. I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence. Carbonated water bottle has been entered into the court record. Miss Brett, can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death? Yes.
It was that bottle. What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Can I, like, look at this right now? The label is written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Cosmo? I think it's French. This must be very expensive water. Yes, but what does it say? That's what I was asking. Then go to France and ask. You could just say that you don't know. So this carbonated water is the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had. Looks like there's a little left in the bottle, although it's just plain water now. You know, I've been sweating so much, I'm absolutely parched. I'll just have a sip of this to keep me going. No, Yunosuke, you can't do that. For one thing, that's evidence. You can't go drinking evidence. Oh no, you're right. We don't know what might be inside, do we? You never cease to amaze me, Yunosuke, in more ways than one. I wonder, could there be anything in this water? What's the matter? You've gone quiet all of a sudden. I think I might have just worked out something. An interesting possibility. Think we might be on the right track here. Very well, counsel. You may resume the cross-examination. And the inspector will kindly control his fervor. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. The professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. Yes. Let me press her on this real quick as well. As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water, is that right?
Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at that time, if you remember. Which explains why he ordered that drink. Correct, waiter?
Yeah, they don't know. I have a resume, bro. I was in arson. Dude, I was in homicide. This is, like, right up my alley. I spent some time in Vice. Dude, I banged a German chick. I ruined my marriage over a German chick. Exactly as you say, sir. Oh, wait, I can, like, press him on this as well. Although... Whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table... I'm afraid I don't remember that. Damn you.
Ah, I have enough English to understand that at least. For the benefit of the others, it means bless you.
It means the exact opposite.
Anyway.
As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. I mean, I'm gonna press them on all of these, yes?
Luckily for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us, and there were no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate.
I want to see if now the cross-examination is going to do some more jumping back and forth. Yes, that's true. Okay, yep, we've read all this.
Objection!
He's just kind of sitting there right now. There doesn't seem to be anything strange going on. I want to press here as well, of course. And our police force... As I've said, I always aim for a flawless investigation. There would be physical traces with all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark. If heaven forbid you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone exactly how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. I wonder if I can press them here. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it?
Oh, I bet I can just, go here and present, present the bottle of water. I don't know if they're necessarily gonna give this to me, because I haven't, like, they haven't gone so far as to say poison, but he has said, hey, there's another possibility here. I think this might be enough to move the case forward.
Yes!
What is this? The bottle of water? Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring to poison.
Poison?
On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? Order, order, order! And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? There's only one person who could possibly have done it. Yeah, he's realizing he drank poison. Giselle Brett, it was you.
Objection!
This is outrageous, to suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile. Have you ever even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we have only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even the vaguest inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty? And you know what I think? I'm not gonna be the fall guy. Go fuck yourself. Find someone else to throw in prison, because I'm not going.
Objection!
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime.
What?
The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth. If I may,
I will silence you forever for this disgraceful...
Damn, she blasted him.
Shut up! It is you who should be silent. Of course.
Where did that come from? She just snapped. I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies. I'm sorry, my lady, to what are you referring? I described your police force as inferior, but no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector, and whether it contained poison or not. Of course. You did? Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it, Brodette. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. And? What did you find, Inspector? I ordered tests for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. We could find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. What? Are you sure? The tests were meticulously carried out by the Chief Coroner himself. No. No! It's a different kind of poison. It's technically not poison, but it is poison. Something that he's not allowed to eat because of the anesthesia. That's what I would assume. The glass was lined with poison. So she had him drink some. She didn't drink any. She took his glass. Yeah, it's possible. I'm very grateful to all you Japanese. You've successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you.
But of course, dear lady. The pleasure was all ours.
Yeah, switch glasses, exactly. I was so sure. This can't be right. I mean, honestly, the one thing that's always stood out to me about the position of everything so far is the fact that his dead body is the one in front of the stake.
which has always been weird to me. I'm thinking, it's totally possible she just, like, fucking turned the table around. Also, the glass is empty there, and not empty there, which is also kind of weird. Yeah, very strange, very strange. Yeah, they hit him with the old spinning table. A classic. Everything falls into place if the glass was poisoned. Thank you, Counsel. I think that Kraft's examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution have asserted, a shot to the chest from this gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit. So we're gonna ignore the whole burn thing still? The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience that this has caused you, Miss Brett. I'm actually gonna... I think this is a good time to save, is what this is a good time for. Where's my save? There is my save. I don't know why I missed that person. That is I think, a good time. Okay, good. It does allow you to save afterwards as well. We're gonna leave on a little bit of a cliffhanger. Maybe I should start doing that more. Maybe I should start intentionally leaving us off on cliffhangers. What do you think? Engagement bait a little bit? Just a wee bit of engagement bait. That's how you do it. That's what I'm saying. Alright. We are gonna raid out. We've only got a few viewers today, but that's, I mean, I kind of have to expect that a little bit from this series. There's actually, I am the only person streaming this game right now, to be clear. I'm the only person streaming this game, so it's not like people are gonna wander in, you know what I mean? Let's raid Sarah. She's playing Zomboid. I am the #1 streamer in the category. There is no one with as many viewers as I have playing Ace Attorney Chronicles right now. Alright, guys. I appreciate everyone stopping by today. We're gonna go watch some Project Zomboid new build, see how she's doing. I think she's kind of new to the game, so, yeah. I will see you guys tomorrow for some Slay the Spire. Peace out.
Interstellar night space, no one else sees.